are back. Act 2 the podcast, episode 34. We are back in the house, people. How are you? We here. Episode 34. It's your boy, International Walk, with the one and only.
Your girl Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest.
What's
Why'd
up?
you look that way and then come this way? I thought
I threw it to you.
Oh.
I took it from over here.
like bounce.
No, I don't know about that, but I took it from over here and just threw it to you. What's up, people? We back. Act 2 the podcast, episode 34. We are back in the house. How y'all doing? Hope y'all good out there. Hope everybody is in great health. Thank you for all the shares, the likes, comments, engagements. Appreciate all that. Appreciate the true day ones, the people who fuck with us. So we appreciate y'all.
We appreciate the day 101s too.
Yeah, we appreciate the day 101s, but that was just a shout out for the day ones.
And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, you should.
Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Act 2 the podcast. Get that, get some of that up in your life.
Get some.
You know, support a brother, support a sister. Act 2 the podcast. Subscribe.
And when you subscribe, turn on your notifications. That way, any new content, you won't miss a beat.
Yeah.
And then once you subscribe, and once you turn on your notifications, then tell your homie, and then tell them to do the same, and then tell a homie.
We got notifications on for a whole bunch of other shit, you know. Why not?
Add us to the mix.
Yeah, when we do something, bam, get a notification. They doing some shit. They back at it.
How are you?
I'm good.
No. How are you?
I'm good. I feel good.
Good. How's your mental?
Great. My mental state is a 9.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'm at a 9. I'm getting in there. I'm cutting through.
Yeah. Being a 9, that has to feel amazing. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, being a 9 is good. Last week I think I was at 8.5, so I'm up a point.
You moving up?
0.5.
Okay. How's work?
Work is good. Passed a whole bunch of inspections. New site coming. Work's awesome.
You always do a good job at work. I'm proud of you.
Appreciate that.
I never get tired of you telling me about stuff, but
For
you
real?
make me feel like I be knowing stuff.
Like what?
Like about construction and stuff. Like when I, see people sheetrocking or whatever it is, or
Drywalling?
Is it not? Oh, it's sheet. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's you drywall with sheetrock.
Yes.
Okay. Nevertheless, I'm proud of you.
Okay, I appreciate you.
How's your finances? Give me the loop.
Finances is on a 9. No, they're on an 8.5.
Oh,
I got a wife. So yeah, finances is on an 8.5. They on their way up though.
Yes, I claim that they are on their way up.
Yeah, so it's all good.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You sure?
Yes,
I'm
sure.
take a little drink. You need a little drinky drink.
I'm dry.
Yeah, a little
I'm
bit.
dry, y'all. Okay.
No, they can't see it, but I can see it. You right up in there. Just tuck them in. Let them get a little moist on it.
Okay.
Get a little bit too.
Yeah, I'm good. I feel good.
What's your mentals?
With this holiday weekend, enjoying some time off. My mental is, I'm gonna say my mental's an 8.
An 8?
Yeah, my mental's an 8. I'm in a good place,
Okay.
and an 8 is good. You know, I was a little stressed, but not worried. No, not mushy, just a little stressed. Stuff going on, trying to coordinate details of things. Sometimes when things don't come together, or when things fall apart, I try to remind myself it's so something else can come together.
Right.
Sometimes when plans don't work out the way you want them to, maybe God's got something else in store. So keeping that mentality, I'm an 8. I'm good.
That's what's up. What's work looking like?
You know what?
Not starting to fire back here, people.
Work is a 10.
Really?
Okay.
What the hell happened?
No,
I tune in for this.
I told myself,
what the fuck is going on? Work
nothing happened with work, but something happened within me. I had a light bulb moment.
What was that?
That's like when your head's like,
I know what a light bulb moment
oh.
was. Oh my God.
I told myself, you know what? You tell the universe what you want. And when I say work is a 10 and work is great, and I don't have no complaints about work, that's what the universe is going to give me.
That's how you're supposed to look at it. It took years to get you to think like that.
All right, but I'm there. So that's what
I'm just on a random Thursday?
Yeah, like I just I'm calling up. People don't need to know like our life, and y'all, it's Friday.
My bad.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought about, I'm going to tell the universe what I want. Universe, work is great. Universe, work is stress-free. Universe, I got this. So work is a 10.
Okay. That's awesome. Wows and woes.
You ain't asking about my money, but my money is good.
I didn't ask you about your money?
You did.
What your chicken look like?
My chicken look like your chicken. So what your chicken look like? If your chicken an 8.5%.
Your chicken can't be the same as my chicken.
Oh, it is. Oh, buddy, it is.
That's the same chicken I got. That's crazy.
Oh, but it is.
I thought my chicken was a little different.
Nope.
Same chicken?
Nope. Same chicken. Wings, thighs, legs, breasts, all of it.
Okay.
Chicken
Nuggets
backs, chicken nuggets, chicken tenders, chicken necks, chicken feet.
Chicken sandwiches too. Bust out the chicken
Got
sandwich.
that chicken. Spicy chicken, baked chicken, broiled chicken.
Fucking girl crazy. What you got for wows?
My
what
wow.
was like in
wow.
your life this week, the past 7 days?
Can I have 2?
2 wows?
Yeah. Or just 1?
Just 1 for now.
Okay.
We can fit a 1 in at the end. We'll fit 1 in.
All right. Back to school this week. For most kids, my kids actually started a little bit earlier than like the regular school district, but still over the last week and a half, I love seeing all the back to school pictures. So that was just, I know with COVID and we know people are going to be sick. It's going to happen. Just like they're going to get the flu, they're going to get a stomach virus, they're going to get whatever is going to happen. But I hope that there is no major disruption to the lives of not just the students, but the teachers, the parents. Like, I just hope that doesn't happen. I hope that the kids stay safe, have a very productive, protected, and good year.
That was something that you didn't realize in the beginning, like how much kids being home screwed up the lives of parents, work life, like the things that you did in your routine every day, like just got all jacked up. And now that what's it been, 19 months since they've been in school? I think I heard that the other day. It's been 19 months since kids been in school.
Well, this is
21.
Yeah, it's been since March of 2020, and this is now September. Yeah.
So it's been 19 months since kids been back in school, and yeah, you're right. Like hopefully they don't get, they get a barrage of COVID, and it's like go back home.
Yeah, they gotta go home. Yeah.
Because they didn't do well on the computer.
No, and not only that, like you said.
Not just I'm not talking about our kids. My kids
in general.
Like,
the old and for teachers, it was stressful. You got kids who sleeping. There was people breaking in, hacking in computer systems, doing
I was ready to say there was
stuff.
Some nudity going on. There was some cursing going on.
And for parents, you're right.
Some weed smoking, like it was crazy.
They say it takes a village, and unfortunately, everybody doesn't have that village. So for parents who couldn't go to work because these kids gotta go, and I'm talking about when you got little kids that's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. Hopefully you're not. 5th grade. Yeah. Hopefully you're not leaving them home. But if you have to go to work, what do you do?
But what do you do? All right. You're not a parent. I'm just saying, what do you do moving forward? Say the kids got to go home. Like, do you do that all over again, or is it like what's Plan B this time in case these goddamn kids got to come because they didn't do well on laptops and going to class on computers, and it totally threw a monkey wrench in
the lives of the parents. What choice do you have? I think now people will be better prepared because of last time. A lot of daycare centers had to kind of reposition themselves to, maybe they didn't accept older children previously, but guess what? They set some I know of that set up rooms where the older children can have their laptops. But then with that, you need some staff, maybe not a whole lot, because you can't just leave these kids unsupervised. So, hopefully situations like that will be provided and more. And I know like in the city, there were some libraries or some other centers that had that kind of set up. I didn't really hear of anybody I know of whose kids were going to those kind of places, but I definitely know daycare centers and things like that were positioned to, be a resource for children. So Second time around, hopefully parents are better prepared. But for those, again, who that may not be an option, because if you have a child that currently isn't in daycare, and because maybe your hours are suitable, you don't need daycare, to now have to find a daycare or find a place for them to go or pay somebody to watch them, or unfortunately have to quit your job and start that whole unemployment process
all over
yeah,
again.
and let's not talk
That's
about...
what I don't think that they want to do again, is see the country at 30-40% unemployed.
Because let's
because
not...
if you keep doing shit like that and stopping the economy, not that health isn't it shouldn't be first, but when you stop the economy, that's something also you got to look at. There's a point that it can't come back.
And not only that, there are some businesses now, restaurants and things like that, those aren't necessities. Yes, people who are restaurant owners, you know how I feel about small business owners. Y'all have a special place in my heart. And I don't want them to lose their business or lose something they spent their lives trying to build up. But when you think about essential businesses, like, I'm just thinking of
marijuana dispensaries.
No, I'm not thinking about marijuana dispensaries. I'm talking about like call centers and stuff like that, where people are calling about their insurance or healthcare or something. The post office was impacted because of people not coming to work. Sanitation departments, people, I remember it was like, I don't want to say weeks, but I know it was days had gone like past the normal trash days in the city because sanitation workers weren't coming to work.
Trash is piling up. People
getting sick or people having kids and they can't leave and blah, blah, blah. So it really has an impact. Not, unemployment, people don't have jobs, but then companies that don't have the option of just closing, they don't have workers. So it's a big, bad cycle. So nevertheless, we went all into that over my wow. My wow was seeing the babies going back to school. That's a good thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back when my daughter was going to school, and I missed that. So it's like I can't even think back to like know that was a thing where kids getting dressed, and it looks cool.
Well, you weren't on social media. You got to think too about that.
It wasn't really no social. It wasn't no social media when she was little.
I mean, it was to a certain extent. I joined Facebook in 2009.
Yeah, but when Jada went to kindergarten, that was in
2003. So you mean about... So yeah, so by the time she was in middle school, there was social media. So yeah, things, of course, were different. You're right. In her latter years, there was social media, but things were different. But yeah, so yeah, that's why you didn't know it was a thing. Yeah, you weren't.
But just being on social media, like, just waking up, it's like, why there's so many goddamn kids with book bags and shit? Like, people just posting their kids, like, oh, okay, this is a thing where kids' first day of school, and ain't been in 19 months, so kids is like,
and parents is like, get out,
like mask strapped up, get your ass back in the building.
Let me add. Okay, well, we can talk about that.
Whoa.
My whoa, we had some plans. Part of his birthday, host's birthday, I got him a gift. He turned the big Obama year. His gift was to go see Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan. We were going to New Orleans, so prayers out for the woe is not the fact that we can't go. Yeah, a little bummed out that our plans, but prayers to those who were impacted by Hurricane Ida. And I know that it wasn't just New Orleans. After the hurricane, the effects, the impacts were lingering.
I think the first part was Florida. They got hit like a couple of days before with like a bad storm, but then behind that.
So yeah, just prayers to those people that were impacted. That was a woe, especially since the anniversary.
Prayers out to the people in New Orleans having to go through another terrible storm on the anniversary. Well, not on the anniversary of Katrina, but just the anniversary of Katrina being there. It's like, damn. And what was that? 15 years ago.
16
years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, like it's crazy how that city is, and I don't even remember no other city that always gets hit like that ever since I was a little kid. New Orleans and Florida always get hit with hurricanes.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't know whether it's the Gulf, it's that Gulf Coast.
That's what I think. I think because the hurricanes build up in the Caribbean, like the warmer seas, and when they come to land, like that's the first place, I guess. Don't get me, I don't know too much about meteorology,
but whatever they do over the ocean, it just seems to come back to New Orleans or that Gulf Coast area.
Yeah, that like what they call it, the Panhandle area.
Yeah, isn't that where 3 states are connected by the water? That's a peninsula. I'm sorry.
No. A peninsula is a state that's 3 sides are surrounded by water. That's
okay.
So Florida is a peninsula.
So what's the Panhandle?
The Panhandle is like the Panhandle of Florida, that piece that sticks out.
Like, what is that?
That's how you know.
It's not really like a hand, is it?
A handle. It's like not a hand, but it's like a handle.
Like, okay.
So you know how Florida goes up like this, and then they got the handle. So that's the Panhandle.
That's the Panhandle.
What's your wow?
My wow is that we got some time off. I mean, we just came back from vacation, so that was great, but short week and get, another holiday, the last holiday of the summer.
Yeah.
So looking forward to just being with you, doing some fun stuff.
You gonna wine me and dine me?
I don't know about all that, but looking forward to having some fun, being outside since the fucking heat will be broken or has been broken. Does it rain like Noah's Ark last night?
Sheets. It rained like not even cats and dogs. It rained sheets of water.
So that's my wow.
What's your wow?
My woe is that not going to see Joe, not going to see Dave.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to that. Those tickets are expensive and hot potatoes. So
let me tell you guys a little quick.
Definitely looking forward.
A quick backstory. Our family, we didn't go last year because of COVID, but I think the 3 years prior, we done like a New Year's trip where we get together. My sisters, my mom, our kids, and our other brother and sister and their kids have gone with us, some cousins. So we get together, we have a nice little family winter trip or whatever, a couple days, nothing major. So in 2019, right before COVID, Dave Chappelle came to the Met in Philly, but it was New Year's Eve while we were away.
And it was a spot, like a pop-up show. It
wasn't anything
he almost did it like 10 days before.
I thought it was less than, but yeah, it was a very short notice.
Bam, it was so
And he was like, I want to go. And I'm like, but we're here with the family. So while we're there, even like up to that evening, he's like, I want to drive home and go. And I'm like, no, like we're here. Like like this time is just important to us. And he wanted me to agree to go, but he was okay. He understood why I didn't. And that just meant a lot to me that, he sacrificed. It wasn't like this is out of town family. This is our family that we live near, that we see all the time, that we spend time with. But I just enjoy making those memories and moments. So he sacrificed that for me. So when I saw that they were coming, I wanted to, show him my appreciation and, thank him for that. And I know it was something that he would love. So
yeah, huge fans of Joe Rogan. Watch his podcast. Huge fan of Dave Chappelle. Seen every special he did. Just a good dude. Joe Rogan got COVID.
I heard.
He got COVID and took goddamn ivermectin, the horse and cow
and sheep
dewormer.
Livestock dewormer. And my thing is this. Joe Rogan, his financial status allows him access to medical professionals that are probably able to safely administer this medication to him in the dosages that are safe for human, because it is livestock medication. But my problem is sometimes too much information harms people, because everybody doesn't have access to these providers. So when you have Billy Joe and Sarah Jane and Jake the plumber, who are like,
Natasha and Walter.
No, we're not taking no.
I thought you was going like
no
people who can't have access to like have doctors come over the house and do that kind of
we
stuff.
We can have access to that if we want, but what I'm saying is when you have these people who hear that, those people who are familiar with livestock and they know, I'm going to go over to the livestock feed shop and I'm going to get me a box of ivermectin and I'm going to pop. No, that's where you have problems, because you can't just take it upon yourself to say, because he did this, that I'm gonna do this, because you don't know all the details. So I think that's sometimes when too much information gets people in trouble. He should have never said that.
But that's a thing though. Like him and Dave Chappelle, that's not. I mean, they do that because they're on the road and they get high and are up late nights. And I hear that when Dave Chappelle gets back in the morning, he gets an IV, gets a B12, gets a drip, gets a KAD antibody, and all that kind of stuff.
No, when you're talking about vitamins and nutrients and that stuff, but that medication was purely to kill COVID.
You're absolutely right about ivermectin. That is not to be consumed by humans, period.
Well, I mean, it may be allowed again.
No, right now it's not allowed. It's not to be consumed by humans. Period. It's livestock. It's livestock dewormer for sheep, cows, and horses.
So his doctor shouldn't even gave it to him.
But you rich and you can pay for doctors. But in the United States, it was a quote because it said Joe Rogan had COVID and he said this, and it's listed all the things that he said. I'm gonna throw the kitchen sink at it, and it listed that, and it said in the United States, ivermectin is not for human consumption.
Well, the bad part about that is, who is your doctor that's willing to risk their licensure by administering drugs to you that shouldn't be administered?
I'm sure you never know, but I mean, when you got money, you can call people, and it's like, okay, a small dose of it might be helpful for you. I don't know, if you got COVID, I don't know why you need to be dewormed. It's a dewormer.
Well, you got to think about this. Worms are a parasite, so it's not just the fact of deworming, it's
virus,
killing.
Right?
Well, people think crazy things. So
right. So if things are viral,
but they think it's a parasite, they just want to kill it. Who knows? I don't know, but
so they really think it's like the COVID balls they show on TV.
That they show the little germy balls and they think of it as a parasite.
It's
but
not that.
And this is why I have a problem with some political figures. Oh, who was the lady who you said wanted to blame it on black people, talking about
Laura Ingraham.
Yeah, talking about how few black people are vaccinated and how we're the cause of the spread. Well, guess what?
The second jump, the jump that just happened a month ago.
But guess what? It's not black people who are fighting against their local school boards because we don't want our children to wear masks. That ain't black people. And it darn sure ain't black people out here saying, oh, well, instead of getting vaccinated, I'm going to take ivermectin. Now, granted, there are people who don't agree with the vaccine.
If you have the vaccine, that's not going to stop you from getting COVID.
Yeah, and there are some people who have the vaccine, but we damn sure, we ain't taking no livestock medication.
So if a month from now it gets approved by the FDA, Dr. Roy says this wipes COVID out.
First of all, stop telling my HIPAA information.
Tell me no HIPAA information.
Why you gotta tell people who my doctor is?
Doctor says it's all good.
Well, I don't have COVID, so I'm not.
I'm just saying, would you be open to it?
No, because I would want, you know how I am with medication. I'm going to do some research. This just got FDA approved. I'm going to need some time on that. This was livestock medication. How do you know it's okay to give to me? Yeah, I'm going to need some time on that.
I take it.
You take you are like the old people who their next to is God, then their doctor. They believe everything.
I ain't never talked to the doctor my whole life, so now I can talk to him. I want to listen to him.
And I go to the doctor.
I don't think they went to training camp.
I'm honest with them. I receive their feedback and their advice, but it's just that. I am not taking everything they say to absolutely do it.
I don't take everything they say to absolute, but I'm going there for a reason. I'm not going there for like fucking, what do you call the shit with House when he used to bounce the ideas around? Just a consultation. I forget what he used to call it. Something diagnosis.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Differential diagnosis. I'm not going just to bounce ideas off to be like, all right, doc, I hear what you're saying. I wasted 2 hours of my time, but I'm going to go do my own thing.
I'm taking what you say. I'm going to mull it over in my head, think about, is there an alternative solution? But I'm not, when it comes to medicine. Now, when it comes to, tangible things, lifestyle changes, exercise, lose weight, stop, that kind of thing. But you're not just going to tell me to take anything and I'm just doing it. I'm not. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, not sorry.
The people of Haiti,
Ah,
earthquake. It's like a 7.2 over there. 1,900 people died.
God bless them.
Babies in the rubble. It took a dark turn, people.
Yeah, that was like an interesting segue, but yeah. You know, it's sad because people can say, "Oh my God, I would never live there," or "Why do people still live there and things keep happening?"
I thought the beef was with United States and Cuba. I didn't know that there was like a reason why we're not helping Haiti.
I don't think there's necessarily a documented reason. I think there's some underlying red tape bureaucracy, like there always is in the government. So I don't think it's like, oh, we have an actual beef. But I think it's like,
well, why don't they have the resources like a Puerto Rico or something like that? Not that, you know, they're over there and they're giving Puerto Rico everything, because we know about when the hurricane hit there. But just you claim them as a territory, like
no, don't say that. Don't say that.
What?
Haiti is not our territory.
No, I said Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
Claim as a territory.
Yeah.
But why won't you, like, what's the beef with Haiti? I understand how people say if you go to Cuba, it's like a snapshot of the 50s. The stores, the way it looks, the cars, it's the cars of the 50s because they never was given anything. But what's the deal with Cuba? Why aren't...
With Haiti, you mean?
I mean, with Haiti, why aren't we...
So my personal opinion...
And then that's where they just killed the president and tried to smoke his wife too, right?
My personal opinion is because the United States feels like they can't... I've read some things, and I don't want to misspeak because I don't recall all the details, but Haiti fought for their independence, a black-owned country. They wouldn't allow themselves to be controlled by France, who I think owned them in one piece. And if I'm speaking incorrectly, feel free to correct me. That's what they fought against? Yeah, because that's why they speak French. You know, Haiti, like there is, I think Creole. I think, you know, Haitian French. It's a lot. It's French influence there. But, you know, they fought for their independence, a black-owned country. People didn't want these black people to be in control of themselves. So there was a lot of things going on there. Financial stuff, again, red tape, bureaucracy. And it's so, I don't think it's necessarily the government is going to say, oh, we have a problem with Haiti. But they really feel like, what can they benefit from Haiti? What resources are in Haiti? Is there oil? Is there...
So the only places we have, I mean, it's only a few places with oil. Afghanistan.
And look at the places where we always are offering our assistance.
But I'm just saying, once you get the oil, it's not like...
But you have to keep that cordial relationship in order to allow it to continue to happen. Because what if they decide to cut off the pipeline? Or, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I don't know how easy it ain't like they can flip the switch and say, nah, stop that. Or pause for 1 second. You know, that is something that has always blown my mind.
I know what you're about to say.
The fact that there are pipes under the ocean.
She's amazed. It's a long pipe.
That literally, like, people put under the ocean to go from one continent, not just like one state to the next. Like, it ain't
water in between them.
Well, I mean, it's not like going from New York to Miami in the water.
Those
it's
pipelines they do when they sleep.
It's going across the world. That blows my mind. The thought, and like, did you ever? And there's certain jobs that you never knew anybody in real life that do. You knew somebody was doing them, but who do? Like,
you would never. That's those companies that are created, and then once the job is done, they're broken down. Yeah, there's not.
So it's like some old man that could say, like, yeah, back in 1970, I helped the pipeline.
It's like the people who built the Lincoln Tunnel. That's what the pipeline is. It's just a small, tiny, scaled down version of a tunnel.
It just amazes me. But not,
it is amazing that it's like thousands and thousands and thousands of miles of it, and oil's running through it.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Again, you know, when it comes to Haiti, when you think about places in the world where there has been some unrest, and you think about when the U.S. has chosen to provide assistance, I mean, what places has it been? Like you mentioned, Puerto Rico, our own U.S. territory, and that.
But even when Barack got in office, you would have thought, I mean, for the sake of black people, that it would have been like, I mean, enough of this bullshit. Like, it's that deep with Haiti that nobody can, like, reverse the shit, whatever the problem is.
But that's the thing. It's nothing.
It can't be like, okay, just because y'all don't have oil, we're not helping you. Like
it's. I don't think it's anything that's. Well, I think it is. It's financial. It's within the banking system. I don't think it's something that can technically be reversed because it's not technically on paper. Like we got a beef with them, like it is with Cuba, like it is with North Korea. So it's not one of those things that can be reversed. It's just kind of that underlying, like, sweep it under the rug. We ain't helping them. From a high level government aspect. Now, of course, you have agencies, the Red Cross and stuff like that who help. But from a high level government, from the high level government, I don't know why I was tripping over those words.
A little dance.
Yeah, but from your mother. That's why I feel like they don't receive the assistance that they need. When there was a genocide in Sudan, and I remember George Clooney, I don't know why he sticks out in my mind,
because he was the poster
begging
boy
for assistance. We didn't fly now. I'm going to say in mass like we've done in Afghanistan. Was there some rescue missions? Possibly. I don't want to say we didn't rescue anybody, but it wasn't, broadcasted the way we've seen it done for Afghanistan.
It's broadcasted, and this is just what I know. It's broadcasted the way it is for Afghanistan because they fucked up and left 20,000 Americans over there.
This time? You mean originally?
Yeah, originally. It was 20,000 Americans left over there. So that's where they fucked up at. Once that got out, then they started to send the planes over. Then it was like all the Afghan people that helped the military in the beginning 20 years ago, the Taliban said, we're going to slaughter all these people when y'all pull out of our country. So that's what all the fuss is about going over there and bringing people back. If somebody can have a better life from where they used to live at, I don't have no problem with that. I'm all for it. Like I'm at the airport and you see them people in there, you know what the hell well, you don't know, but you can imagine what they've been through and what's going on. You see on the TV, like they have people in their country that will just kill their whole family. Well, my country isn't like that. So if you could come here and have a better life, then I salute that.
And I'm not against that.
You're not like getting in the way of anything I'm doing, but if you come in here and you got 5, 6 kids, 1 kid, and you just a husband and wife and looking for a better life, and now you can get here legally and you're bored here, have at it.
I'm not against that. Just don't have your picks when it comes to the brown people or the other people of color from other countries. When it comes to the black people that's in Sudan,
so
extend the same courtesy. When you see that there's issues going on in Haiti, and I don't know.
So that lets you know that it's not all about the commodity, because those are black people, and that's probably the reason why they didn't help them, because Africa's rich. So there's stuff in Africa that they could have said, okay.
Different parts of Africa. I mean, you're talking about one country out of 52 countries in Africa. In Sudan, I don't think there's any resources there that the United States benefit off of.
Or maybe they could have bartered with something like, we'll take next door if we save Sudan.
But why do we have to barter for life?
That's just United States, baby. That's United States.
And it's sad because we shouldn't have to barter commodities for human life.
Well, it's we're sending our military over there. We're sending our men over there. Some of them are going to die. What are we getting back? So it's like, okay, what are we getting back?
What's enough for a human life?
I don't think anything. I'm on your side. I don't think anything. So I'm not in agreeing like saying this is a price, but that's how the governments work. It's like you want us to put 10,000 men over there with our planes and gear, and some of them going to die, and we ain't getting shit. We just helping just to be helping? No.
And it wasn't.
So, and the United States might say, what's next to Sudan?
Don't get me the lion on the map. I know my.
Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Ethiopia. I was going to say. So if they say we take Ethiopia, we take Ethiopia and Liberia, and we save Sudan.
But no. You can't. Okay, you're talking about 3 different countries. So Ethiopia could be like, you ain't taking our country. We don't have nothing to do with Sudan. That's 3 different countries. They're not states where Africans.
I understand.
Right.
That.
So that may not be an option. Ethiopia might say, that's on them. So I understand what you're saying. Maybe Sudan doesn't have anything to offer, but I think that this...
And that's what the guerrillas was, right? The people who was doing the The genocide. They were called the guerrillas, where they had the kids and shit doing all the murdering.
I think so, but they've done it
And they
in quite a
lived in
few
the jungles.
countries. Well, that's the Congo. The Sudan is more of the desert. The
Okay.
Congo is where, the jungles and the guerrilla wars and stuff, like the guerrilla warriors and stuff.
That's just crazy. That's crazy stuff.
Don't judge us if our geography and our history is a little bit off.
But you're supposed to be good at geography. You're like, to me, you're super good at geography. I could say, where's Kazakhstan? And you'll be like, it's right here.
Well,
and it's like,
I'm not looking at a map right now
to find Kazakhstan.
I mean, if you give me a map for Africa, I'll do pretty good for the most part in pointing out the countries, but you're testing me on the spot, and,
Okay.
my brain a little weary.
That
It's
sounds
40.
like we're not smart on the spot. We need some time to be smart. But okay.
I'm a good test taker when I study.
Not to go dark, people, but this month is Suicide Prevention Month. So we lose 800,000 people a year to suicide. It's the 10th biggest cause of death worldwide. The leading factors are you feel like a burden and you feel isolated. And that leads to hopelessness. And you feel like things will never be the same. So, or you'll feel like things will never get better. I remember being in a dark place at one time in my life, shit going on where I felt like I didn't want to go on. So just people out there who's struggling with mental health, who have a lot going on, who you feel like it's dark all the time. You always got the blues. You may be thinking it might be better if I'm not here. It's not. So if you can, talk to somebody. If not, there's hotlines. The suicide prevention hotline is 1-800-273-8255. So if you got something going on, try your best to get with a family member, a friend, talk to somebody. If you can't, then there's a phone number, 800-273-8255, and you can talk to somebody. It's better to even talk to a stranger than just sit or have those kind of dark thoughts and follow through with something like that, because it's not better because you're not here. It's not. It hurts a lot of people. So think along those lines. If you can open up to somebody, try it. It helps. It'll take you off that path. Again, 1-800-273-8255.
We talk about mental wellness often, and it's something that I'm really passionate about, and we always say we don't want to tell people what to do, but I highly encourage people to talk to a mental health professional. We're beyond those days, that generation that feels like, I don't want to talk to them people. I don't want them knowing my business.
Obviously, it's still people out here like that. It
is better to talk to somebody than to hold it in, because you don't know it all. And, sometimes I think what needs to be emphasized to people, you don't have to wait until things are dark to talk to somebody. You can talk to somebody when things are going well, so that you're given the tools in your toolbox to use when things start to get a little dark.
Mm-hmm.
So don't just wait until it's bad. And guess what? You might talk to somebody and you may not like that person. That's okay. Go to somebody else. Just like if you go to a girl and she do your hair and you don't really like it, you gonna try somebody else. That barber messed up your line, you gonna try somebody else. That GYN was a little bit rough, you gonna try somebody else. The doctor that grabbed the balls of the men, you ain't like the way he rubbed them a little bit, you gonna try somebody else. So you may not like, you may not like a counselor or a mental health professional that you talk to. Don't let that make you judge the whole profession. You might go to a church you don't like. That shouldn't turn you off from God.
You might have a PCP that you don't like. You switch them up.
So go to somebody else.
OBGYN that you don't like, or a male doctor that you don't like. So if you don't like them, you switch it up. And you can get deeper than that. If people don't like a certain food place, you go somewhere else. So if you don't like something, it's not like you condemn the whole food industry. You just go eat somewhere else.
Yeah,
so don't condemn the whole therapy. The industry of it, just go somewhere else.
That process, yeah. So I just really encourage people to, search for somebody that you can talk to. Can you give that number for the suicide prevention line again?
Suicide prevention line is 800-273-8255. Yes. It's enough life out here for everybody. So again, talk to somebody, a stranger, somebody you might not even think of opening up to. And it's not about you talking to somebody, it's going to fix it. But talking alone, just getting it off your chest, will stop you from thinking that way.
Or can start the process of healing.
Yeah, it's not going to be fixed when you're done talking, but you won't be thinking of hurting yourself after you're done talking. That's the goal.
Yep.
Mercedes Moore. I didn't know who she was, never heard of her. Again, my first year on social media, she was on my timeline heavy. IG model who was killed in a murder-suicide, strangled by a fan or a friend. I don't know.
I've never heard of her, never seen.
I've seen a lot of known people saying rest in peace. Shouts out to you, sis, RIP, and all this stuff. And I'm like, these are like famous people, so she was.
I didn't even
known
see that.
A little bit.
Yeah, I didn't even see that, but I seen the story, and even if she wasn't known, even if nobody knew her, the fact that the storyline that I hear is that it was a stalker. I don't know whether a stalker who found her on social media or knew her from someplace in her real life offline. But nevertheless, somebody that was obsessed with her. And I think this should be a warning for people to, social media is fun. You post things, you laugh, you giggle, you want to share moments in your life. But having some discretion can really go a long way. I saw somebody post something and they were, kind of talking about this story, and they were saying, when you posting like back to school pictures, cover like your kids' uniform, the name of their school on their uniform. Everybody don't need to know that. Or if you're taking a picture and the name of the school is in the background, block that out. Have some. It's not secrecy, it's privacy. Like, you can post your child and show how happy they are without letting people know where you are, what school they go to. Because somebody that wants to do you harm, they can track that. Oh, so this is where she dropped her child off at every day. Or, okay, her child goes to this school. I know this school has to be to school by 8:30, so that means she probably leave her house at 8 o'clock. She probably don't get back until 9 o'clock. If they want to break in your house, they know they got an hour because they know you're out.
Not only are they tracking your child, they tracking you. If they interested in you or interested in robbing your house, like this, that's multiple things.
Or
that they
doing
can be
you harm.
In. Yeah, so you got to look out for shit like that.
It's a scary world.
Again, I didn't know who she was, but I know who she is now, and nobody deserved to be, if this a fan or a friend, you thinking, damn, I'm opening up to you or engaging with you, which I don't think you should, especially a fan, because they're fanatics. But a friend, and people do anything for money. That's what it is. So it's, you say like, don't, have some
discretion.
Have some discretion, but she had 2 million followers. She was making like $50,000 a month. So people do just about anything for money.
Yeah, but you still can have discretion without showing where you live, without showing the outside of your house. Like, you can show pictures. Like, we've never shown our home on social media,
and hopefully
we've never shown our license plate.
No dollar amount would we, or we just like would get lax like that. But I'm just saying, when the money comes into play, people get lax and they get overexposure. Years ago, there was you know who Jamie Kennedy is. Years ago, he had a show called The Jamie Kennedy Experiment, and on there was a skit called Dudes Going Wild, and it was white dudes, black dudes, Spanish dudes, Asian dudes, and just like Girls Going Wild, he was telling all these guys, we're gonna put you in movies, we're gonna put you with these girls, you're gonna go crazy, you guys are gonna be big stars. And this Jamie Kennedy, that was like a prank show. And then he got the guys together, these buff ass dudes, black, white, all nationalities, and he said, listen, but to do all this shit to make you stars, there's gonna be some gay shit. And you know what they said?
Okay.
How much gay shit?
Wow.
This is like document, like, how much gay shit? And they thought like there was one-on-one interviews, and he exposed it all. Like, people will do anything for money. And these are straight men, well, supposed to be straight, but when it was like, okay, to make you a star, to give you money, you're gonna be on DVDs and all this shit, but it's gonna be some gay shit.
But
and none of them was like, nah, I'm out. They all was like,
how much.
Yeah, what we gotta do?
I mean, and who's to say what she was doing, but you can still live your life and you can still make your money and still not have people know where you live. People got to think too. I see videos of people driving on their way to work, or and people who are crazy and they really want to track and they know your area. They'll say, they'll be looking for the street that you passed, or if you turn into
corner
your
store.
cul-de-sac, they'll be looking for, okay, she turned into this. If I know she turned off this main road onto this street, all they gotta look for is a picture of that first house to see what street it is.
And can't you screenshot whatever that is and do longitude, latitude, and get close to the area?
I
and
think
then you
Google
can,
does
now that
offer.
you have a screenshot, you can look around the neighborhood and see, okay, that's this area.
Mm-hmm.
That's this park, that store in the background.
That's all I'm saying. People just have to have some discretion. I know somebody, and this is not even on those stalker stuff. I know of somebody who, I think in her mind, she thinks she tries to be careful because she's never shown like the name of her apartment complex, never shown her address, but there's a pool there. And it's long story short, I know where she lives just based on the videos that she showed in her complex, like if she's leaving or the pool, and like I know where she lives. And she kind of like was making a video one time on her drive home. She lives near Mom, and that road is very identifiable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just those little things that you have to be aware of on social media. It's a crazy world out here. So prayers for Mercedes' family.
Yep, condolences to Mercedes.
Her father found her body. I can't imagine that kind of heartache, having to live with those images in your mind forever. So prayers for her family as well. We've been shouting out a lot of prayers. Prayers for New Orleans, prayers for Haiti, prayers for Mercedes' family.
Mercedes Moore. Texas law bans abortion at 6 weeks. Texas law bans abortion at 6 weeks.
So it bans abortion at 6 weeks. So you can't have an abortion if you're more than 6 weeks.
Right.
Okay.
So private individuals, anti-abortion activists with no connection to patients can now sue anyone who they believe is providing abortion or assisting someone in accessing abortion after 6 weeks. This includes healthcare workers, clergy, rideshare drivers. Law does not allow these lawsuits. It actively encourages private individuals to act as bounty hunters by awarding them $10,000 if they're successful.
So I have a problem with that.
My wife is 100% against abortion.
I am. And for those fans of A2TP podcast, I am unapologetically pro-life. And that's just that. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And I think that women should have abortion by choice. I don't, circumstantial. Like, I don't think if you're raped or you're a child of, and you were raped by your uncle, dad, brother, or something like that. I don't think
or a stranger.
I'm sorry. I don't think you should be forced to have that baby. So that's where I stand on abortion. In those cases, I think that it should be abortion.
So again, for our viewers, how I feel. What I have a problem with is allowing strangers to act as bounty hunters, because you're going to have some maniacal people. Mm-hmm. Now I will say I am pro-life. I ain't out here chasing people down.
Protesters, right?
I did want to be a protester one time. I did want to go out there, not a protester to like harm people or scare them, but to hopefully change somebody's mind.
Somebody out there with a terrible looking a fetus sign that's like.
Well, I said I wanted to. I didn't say
as shit.
I was going to do it. I wanted to go to. It's a place not far from us. Nevertheless, I think what this does is put the battery in the back of some maniacal individuals who will potentially harm somebody, because now they feel like, oh, they have the green light to do so. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is just think about this scenario. Let's play this out. You're a protester, or maybe you're hiding in a car. You're not even allowing yourself to be seen. You're sitting in a parking lot or sitting across the street from an abortion clinic, and you're watching and you see a Uber driver pull up and drop a young girl off. Mm-hmm. Now, let's also think about this. Some abortion clinics, I'm going to say like Planned Parenthood or other places, aren't just abortion clinics. They perform abortions, but somebody could be going there for another kind of appointment. So what happens when this maniacal person who feels like they want to get this $10,000, they see this rideshare, Uber or Lyft driver drop somebody off, and now they want to get this license plate or follow this person to turn them in for $10,000. One, what if that girl was there for a GYN appointment and not for an abortion? So now you're on this wild goose chase, potentially harming somebody who wasn't even participating in that.
Yeah.
Two, the driver may have no idea. He just taking this girl. She just ordered an Uber. This the address. They might not have shared 2 words together. So now you're going to hold this person responsible for that? I don't think this
Texas is different.
But I don't think this is going to be able to hold up.
In Texas, shit.
If I order a rideshare service for you to take me to this place, we could not share. They have you can choose a setting to say, like, you want a quiet ride, where you're telling them I don't want to talk. That. So how am I supposed to know what I was taking her to?
I understand all that, but I'm just saying Texas is different. Like, if the shit holds up, it'll hold up in Texas because of the lawmakers and people out there. Like, they're Texans.
I think they're opening themselves up to litigation. This is what happens.
That shit could have been another country.
The Constitution, or maybe it ain't the Constitution. I ain't that good with, like.
I was going to say, don't go down that road.
Okay, you know I'm not that good, but where does it say that there should be no church and state? Like, you can't mix. That's the Constitution, right? I
think. Or it might be the Declaration of Independence.
We're going to have history teachers. They're going to be so mad at us. Help us educate.
Is it the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence that says no church and state?
Okay, whichever one it is, it's one of these government documents. But this is exactly what we're doing. Now, again, I say, I do not believe that abortion should be legal. That is my spiritual belief, or that's what guides my opinion on that. I don't know how the government should be allowed to regulate that, though. So I will say, I don't know how the government, I just think it shouldn't even be a thing. But you definitely can't allow people to be tracked down where they could have absolutely no idea of what I'm dropping this girl off for. She didn't tell me. When she ordered this rideshare service, she put in 123 Main Street. I didn't even know what was here till I picked her up and she got out the car.
And healthcare workers. Not just, that's rideshare drivers. What about healthcare workers? What about clergy?
Well, I mean, that too.
How's that work with clergy? And it's supposed to be no church and state. What the fuck is that?
Well, so now you're going to sue the First of all, my confusion is, where does clergy come into that equation?
Confession.
But so is clergy assist? I don't know how that works, though.
Abortion is against, if you're Catholic, that's against their religion.
I know, but what I'm saying is, how are you holding clergy responsible? What piece of the puzzle did they have in it?
I don't know. I don't know what piece of the puzzle a rideshare driver has in it.
Well, because they took them to there. But again, I agree.
Clergy, I would think, just off context, I would think in confession.
But that doesn't mean, in confession, and we ain't Catholic, I don't know how that go, but you talk to the man on the other side of the screen,
right? And
he tells you you're forgiven, which I don't know how a man forgives you.
You can't tell somebody, you can't tell a priest that I had an abortion and be forgiven, because it's against Catholic law. So he's not going to forgive you for that.
I don't know. I thought they forgive you for everything.
Not abortion.
Okay, I don't know.
That's like going in there and saying, I killed somebody. I want to, I don't think they can forgive you for murder or.
Well, first of all, my belief.
I don't know. We're not Catholic. I don't know.
A man can't forgive you for anything anyway.
We're just talking for the sake of the.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I thought the premise was, if you confess, you are forgiven. They got stipulations on what you're going to be forgiven for. I know abortion.
I'm murder. I'm not sure, but abortion is murder. So I'm thinking that's against Catholic law. That's against their religion. You can't go to a priest, I don't think, and say, I had an abortion. Can you forgive me? I don't think you can do that.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know they had stipulations.
Anybody who's Catholic out there, can you write something in the comments? Can you be forgiven for an abortion if you tell a priest in confession? Based on
Catholicism.
Yeah, based on Catholicism, not, in the black churches.
Okay, I'll leave that alone.
It's a different thing.
But it ain't just black Christians.
What I'm just saying.
I get what you're saying.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, that's tricky. That's very messy. You know, one thing that I read though that I didn't like, because too often when people have this conversation about abortions, it's directed towards the African American community. So I read something that said that this, this potentially causes harm to the disenfranchised in the African American community. We meaning Black people ain't the only people out here having abortions. Like, how dare you? And this was somebody who was against this law, but to use us as your poster child or as the scapegoat as to why you feel this is a bad thing.
What if they're going off, just playing devil's advocate, what if they're going off statistics?
Show me the statistics.
Well, when you go in and get an abortion, they check whether you're Black or white. I'm sure some paperwork you fill out.
I agree.
They might ask you that.
Show me the statistics then. I would want to see that, because I just felt like it was...
You don't think that in the 90s and the early 2000s that in the Black community there was a high population of Black girls getting abortions? I'm just saying, speak about Black girls. Let's be real. And I'm not saying that white girls wasn't getting it or Chinese girls wasn't getting it. I'm just saying from our experiences in growing up, we know a lot of Black girls that have gotten abortions.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't know a lot. But yes, I do believe. Okay. But again, like you said something very important from our experiences. So we can only speak about what we knew in our community. What was happening in the other communities? Just because we don't know, it's going to seem like a lot to us because we feel like, a lot.
I'm saying I don't know the whites, the Blacks, the Chinese, the Puerto Ricans, the Latinos. I don't know any of that. All I'm saying is from my experience, there was a large population of my people, my sisters getting abortions in the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, and it was like a thing.
But like we don't know how that compares to other communities.
I don't.
So that's why I'm saying, regardless, if you knew 100 people, you don't know if it was 105 white people.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Yes, there was.
That's what I was just saying. Was that a thing? Was there a thing? Like, we don't know whether it was.
I don't think it was a thing. I think it's always been a thing. I think it's still a thing, unfortunately. I think it's probably more prevalent now than it was, because I remember growing up, it was taboo. You didn't, like, if you did it, you didn't really want people to know. Now it's just talked about like nothing.
I'm just, from my experiences, I knew a lot of girls growing up from the 7th grade to being like 20 years old that got abortions. A lot. And I knew a lot of girls that got them because they got pregnant young, or it was a second child and they didn't want a second child real quick, or they just was girls who was out there and did that type of thing.
And I'm not negating.
And I don't know about the white girls. I'm sure they were out there doing the same thing. I'm just speaking from my experience. Like, I saw a lot of girls getting abortions.
And I'm not negating that. What I'm saying is to say that this law is harmful to the Black community. I feel like that's degrading. Don't use us as your poster child, because it isn't just Black women that's having abortions. True. That's like when people talk about the welfare rates.
That's a
white
true
people are large. The white people, the population of white people, it's more of them that are beneficiaries of
state assistance
than it is of Black
statement.
people. So that's all I'm saying. That just rubbed me the wrong way. I agree that this law is like crazy, but overall I just think abortion should be illegal for everyone. It shouldn't even be a thing. It just shouldn't even be a thing. It shouldn't be a thing.
Elijah Mcclain. I didn't know his story either.
Ooh, we are like hitting hearts today with all these stories.
We are. Condolences to his family. 3 cops and ambulance workers charged with manslaughter after the cops stopped Elijah Mcclain. He was placed in handcuffs and a chokehold, and ambulance workers injected him with anesthesia and later died.
Yeah, so I will say...
And the anesthesia was ketamine. Hold on, let me get my shit off. I have never heard this a day in my life. I've never heard of ambulance people coming to get a belligerent person with the cops and sticking them with the needle, whether it be on the street or in the van. That type of thing usually happens in a hospital. I've never heard of somebody being stuck by a needle with ketamine from an ambulance driver. I've never heard that. That you don't know how much this person weighs, you don't know what they're allergic to, you don't know their medical history, and you just show up, and because they're belligerent or acting out of pocket, they get stuck with ketamine. Whatever happened to Valium, lorazepam, shit like that. Ketamine just seems like it's a class A narcotic. It's like up there with Dilaudid and shit like that.
Is it?
Ketamine? Yeah.
I mean,
it knocks horses. I never taken it, but it knocks horses out.
Well, I mean, because I was going to ask, is it possible the same thing could have happened? So what happened was he overdosed. So it wasn't that you're not
again not knowing his medical history or what he's allergic to or how much he weighs. It's an anesthesia. That's like somebody showing up with the milky shit and saying, "Okay, we'll give you propofol."
It's a tranquilizer. So the thing is, though, the same thing could have happened with Valium. I guess if they gave him too much Valium. So I don't think it's unusual that a paramedic will administer medication when needed if someone needs to be calmed down. Just think about if somebody is having a heart attack or something, they'll give them what is the medication? What is the little tab? It's something that people...
Aspirin?
No. It's another medication. But nevertheless, I don't think it's unusual.
But it's basically aspirin, though, right? When somebody's having a heart attack, that's what they do.
But it's not an aspirin. It's a very specific drug that's known for heart attacks. I just can't think of the name. It's not lithium. I can't think of it.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't think it's unusual that they will give drugs. I do think it's a problem. Paramedics, there are some paramedics who are nurses. I think you have to be a nurse to administer medication.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is a problem that you overdose this person. So what logic did you use when administering this medication?
When did ketamine become the medication?
Well, we don't know. That may not be an unusual thing. I don't think he was the first. He just may have been the first that was overdosed. I don't think this was the first time they decided to give somebody ketamine.
But you can't. That's a class A narcotic. You can't just be rolling around. It's like giving people Dilaudid or propofol. Like you can't just be giving small doses of ketamine and drugs like that. Like that shit's on a scale up here. It's not. I mean, it's a street drug, but it's a horse tranquilizer.
I mean,
and then again, you got to IV this shit into somebody's arm outside of a hospital just because they're like, how many calls a day do people get that say this person's acting erratic with the cops or belligerent with the cops? Thousands a day, probably millions across the country. People getting stuck with ketamine?
I don't think everybody uses ketamine. I'm just saying I don't think he was the first. I will say, prior to hearing about
that's bullshit. I swear to God,
prior to hearing about the indictment of those people, I was ignorant about this story, and I'll admittedly say that, and it's because it was around a time we were constantly hearing. My mind had just become overwhelmed with hearing about these stories of our black men being killed by police. So I had kind of tuned it out. So I remember his name. I never knew the details until they talked about the people being indicted. It's a horrible situation. He overdosed. Well, they overdosed him.
Right.
And he died. He never recovered. He died 6 days later.
That's something I'm going to look into because, again, I could only imagine the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of calls that's across the country of people being belligerent with cops. And you don't know whether it's mental health, they're drunk, or they're just fucking insane, or just being belligerent, just being assholes. I want to know who's getting stuck with ketamine, like what the ambulance is rolling up and dosing people just because you're out of order. Like that shit it blows my mind. Like I've seen a lot of people get wrestled by the cops. I've never seen like, okay, you get put in the ambulance and they drug you.
Yeah, I don't think
you don't
it's
fucking
uncommon.
know me. How you gonna shoot me with something
though.
in my vein? You don't even know me.
I agree that it shouldn't be a thing, but I don't think it's uncommon.
I could be highly sensitive to that drug, or you could fucking kill me on the spot. You don't know what I'm allergic to, and you just pull this random person over, and because he's not compliant, let's give him some drugs.
Yeah, it's a bad situation. It's a bad situation having people. Yeah.
3 grams. Trick that EVG. Eat the booty gang.
You know, my whole ew, don't do that dance.
Eat the booty. See the booty gang dance.
My whole thing with that whole situation. Why we gotta know? Like why you grown? Ain't he like 50?
Probably like 50 something, almost 60.
Why we gotta know what goes on in your bedroom? And it's like, even if he didn't say the person's name, like, you know, of who's he in a relationship, that just anybody who he is or has been in a relationship with, people know them. And now it's like, you're putting your business out there. You're grown. Don't talk about what goes on in your bedroom.
Trick Daddy said out the women out there eating the booty. Eating his booty.
The visual.
Yeah, and when he was on Drake Champs, he gave a visual of having his legs up. So I think that's what took it to the next level, because it's like, damn.
You mean the next level, like
Trick Daddy, like what the girl must look like him.
Oh God.
Like,
be kind.
iPhone 13.
What else?
Satellite capabilities.
What else do we need in a phone?
Satellite phone. So if you go to Ecuador and they ain't got no fucking service, satellite, you call.
But
if you go to Tanzania, they ain't got no service, satellite. If you go to Tasmania, they ain't got no service, satellite.
Now, what's the roaming charges for that?
Don't know.
When we were in Jamaica, I think
it was $34 extra goddamn dollars.
And it was for like 2 1-minute phone calls to somebody that was with us.
You said I made like 3 calls, maybe 5. Then it was like 6.
You a lie for God. I was calling Keisha.
I know, but I'm saying you did it like 5 or 6. I remember you did it 3 times in the hallway when they wouldn't answer the door.
So does that count when somebody doesn't answer? They charge you roaming charges? They didn't answer.
If you dial, I think it counts, especially over there.
Sheesh. Yeah. So now how much is going to set a satellite phone? If you're in somewhere beautiful like the Maldives or something where there's no signal, guess what? That means put your damn phone away and enjoy your time. I don't need a satellite phone. First of all, let's just say this. If I'm in the Maldives and I don't have service and somebody's trying to call me, it ain't nothing I can do about what's going on in Philadelphia from the Maldives. So whatever you need to tell me, if you can't reach me, I don't need a satellite phone. I'll find out when I get back, because I ain't coming home from here to there right now.
Satellite
I don't need a satellite phone. What are we in the CIA?
Satellite. You can get an earpiece too. When I'm 50, I'm getting an earpiece.
Why?
Because I want to walk around like those old dudes. And I'm getting some of them New Balance.
Oh, God. It's these clunky white sneakers, white with blue.
New Balance and Nikes. They got 2 old man pair.
We see them everywhere in the market. All the old white men have them.
Remember the time we were standing in the lunch meat line? It was like 7
Yes,
people.
all of them was coming up with their jeans and their belt on with their fresh white sneakers.
Last gram. Tell me something I don't know. A secret.
Tell you a secret.
That I don't know in 21 years about you.
I don't have no secrets. You know everything about...
bullshit.
You know everything about a secret?
Yeah. Some shit I don't know. Jasmine Sullivan.
I don't have no secrets.
She was back. And she put in her question box, tell me a secret you never told your partner.
Oh, I saw this.
And it started off being nice and like, oh, that's funny. You know what I'm saying? Because the first one, or one of the first ones I seen was like, his breath stinks or her breath stinks. And I don't want to say nothing because I don't want to hurt their feelings. That's kind of soft, vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I hate when he eat Doritos.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff. I ain't gonna tell you what I don't like when she eat. I think he's ugly like his mother. I'm glad we don't have kids. Now it's getting a little spicy.
But that's funny.
It's funny, and it's still along the lines of vanilla, but it's getting spicy. This is where it gets a little personal.
Oh, wait till I tell you what it was. I'm afraid.
I hate my engagement ring.
I saw that too, and I hated it too.
Yeah, it was bad. It had the whole bunch of the chippies in there.
Like it was like the checkerboards.
Yeah, the big square with the chippies. That's when it started getting a little personal.
Yeah.
Trying to get.
Wait. So, how would you feel if you gave a woman an engagement ring and she you open a box and she's like.
You could feel that energy immediately. Gave my shit back.
But what if she say yes? But then you put it on her hand and she's like,
"You're not the one for me."
Just because she didn't like the ring?
Yeah. Bitch, do you like me? You marrying me. This is what I could afford now. This is a symbol of me saying I want you to be my wife.
First of all, apologize for calling her a bitch.
I'm sorry for calling you a bitch.
For calling her, because you wasn't talking to me.
Talking to you.
You were speaking hypothetically.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would be saying in my head. I wouldn't say that to her. That's not how I talk to women.
Right. I mean, and it's a shame because I'm sure that has happened to a lot of women. I can say I got 2 rings. I love both of them. So that wasn't our story. But I wonder as a woman, like, how do you hide it? Maybe, hopefully the love and the excitement takes over. Okay, I'm sorry. Go back. What were some of the others?
Trying to get a divorce before you put some ring on it. Why don't you just stop messing with him? If you know you're going to ask to marry you and you don't really like him.
Well, see, what I get from No.
You're trying to get a divorce.
No, that means she's still married to somebody and she's with somebody else. But he doesn't know that she's still legally married. And she may not be cheating, but it just may be on paper still, and she may have lied and said she was divorced and she ain't.
So now, okay, I was thinking about it like the other way.
No.
See, it's different coming from a woman's perspective.
Yeah, she's still married to somebody, but she loving this person, and she like, oh my God, he gonna ask to marry me.
Rotten as shit.
That's a bad situation. Hopefully, the other one agreed to the divorce.
Had two double homicides on him with 2 different men.
2?
That's a quadruple.
2 double homicides.
I don't know.
That's 2 threesomes?
I don't know, because the kid lingo, homicide means something. You think it mean he killed the kitty.
Yeah, because if you say homicide, that means
somebody died. Somebody murdered somebody.
He killed the cat. But if you had 2 double homicides, so a double here
and a
double here,
and you still satisfying the single in the middle.
Hopefully, because who knows what he might be doing.
So you had.
This is why you need to get your STD test.
See, that's what we had the conversation about this a couple podcasts ago. That's one girl and one relationship taking 5 penises.
That's sad.
That's wrong.
That's very wrong. That's morally wrong. Hopefully her soul is repaired.
That's wrong.
There's something going on.
She sucks at sucking. Her mouth is too small. The teeth hit every time.
Aww. So we talked about before, we had questions asking, do you provide feedback to your partner? This is one of those situations where feedback is essential. Let her know. You
would say, ow, if your teeth hurt, like she know.
Yeah.
Maybe she do it like that just so she don't have to do it.
But maybe she's really a tiny person and he's, well endowed, and maybe she can't help it.
Now, these last 3 go over the top.
Whew.
I don't know if they were the 2 you
Are these? I was about to say, I'll tell you.
But they go over the top. Now, this, I want to suck his feet. He might think it's weird, so I do it in his sleep. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Babe, what would you do?
Every time I read that, it's like...
What would you do if you woke up in the middle of the night? It's dark. I know some people sleep with the TV on, which I think is crazy. But we don't. So what if you woke up, it's dark, and you sleep with your head this way and my head this way, and I'm under the covers and I'm sucking your toes?
I would make sure that I'm seeing what I'm seeing and feeling what I'm feeling. And then I would throw the covers off and say, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh,
and if you said to me, I thought you were going to think I'm weird. First off, You think asking me to suck my toes is weird, but me catching you in the nighttime, sucking my toes under the cover, that's not weird.
Well, if I didn't think I was going to get caught, then I didn't think you would think I'm weird. Would you, okay, if it's not your wife, if it's just like your girl, she spent the night, would you put her out?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Like,
so we wouldn't be together?
No, like, I don't even think I could talk to you. Like, why would you sneak and do that? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why would you sneak and do that?
That's crazy.
You would sneak and suck my toes while I'm sleep. You waiting for me to go to sleep so you can put your head under the covers and go suck toes.
Or what if she wasn't just laying down next to you? What if she was like on her knees, like behind your feet, and had it like in her hand, like?
I would think she need to be on like that show where like I eat weird stuff.
Like the people that be here, like newspaper.
Sofa cushion and tape and feet and shit like that. I used to fuck. Excuse my language.
You done said a lot of curse words.
I know, but excuse my language. Okay. I didn't mean to say bitch earlier. I don't talk to women that way. And I know there's people who I respect are watching this, and the language is just foul. I used to fuck the dog shit out of her hairstylist. 11 years doing my wife's hair.
So the thing is this, he said I used to. So does that mean like he dropped her off at an appointment and he seen like, oh, that's Sheila in there doing her hair? I used to mess with Sheila back in the day. You think like...
No, I think dudes, they say shit like that because it was happening at the same time.
Oh, so you think he pull up like, damn, Michelle doing her hair? Shh,
he knew that at the house when she said, where you going to get your hair done at? I'm going over here on 52nd Street. Oh, that's Michelle's shop. He was thinking in his head. Oh, shit. Who do your hair? Tanya or Michelle? Michelle do it. Oh. Hey, I'm going to drop you off.
Wow.
I'm gonna drop you off.
And then what if she be in the chair? This is why you cannot talk to people.
The quote behind that I didn't write because it was more foul was, every time you kiss him, you taste my...
But this, see, I was about to say this is why you can't talk to people about your relationship. But women know, and this might be true for men, when you go to a hairstylist, they become like your friend. Like, you know, my sister's a hairstylist, and people talk to her about their personal life, and it's one of those things you kind of just get used to. So after 11 years, she know a lot. And that's sad. She know a lot. She know when...
She's like a female concubine.
But the girl don't even know. Is it a wife or a girl? Oh, it said wife.
Yeah.
Sheesh. I would kill y'all.
Last one. This is the funny one. I thought this took the cake. Her nephew might be my son. Her nephew might be my son. This is like the other thing where we read where the girl said, I got cheated on by a dude for 10 years ago. He slept with two of my sisters and a cousin, and now we got niece daughters.
Yeah, I'm not having it.
They got niece daughters.
I'm not having it.
She said I got two.
Well, at least she accepted it. In this situation, it's a secret.
Her nephew might be my son.
All right, so let me tell you two that I read that was like crazy. One of them said, I was part of a train that was ran on her sister. Choo choo.
We about to run a train, nigga. Choo choo.
That's so foul.
It is.
That's so... First of all, you meet this girl, y'all busted up. You like her, y'all get in a relationship. She like, oh, I want you to come to the cookout, yada, yada, yada. And you walk in and it's like, is that... Nah, that ain't her. You know, oh, let me go make a... Kim? Is that you? And you know, or no, y'all can't even say nothing to each other. You can't, because then if the girl hear you like, oh, you know my sister, how y'all know each other? Then y'all got to tell this lie. Then once you tell a lie, you got to remember the lie, and y'all stories got to line up. No, y'all can't even say nothing to each other.
Yeah.
That's horrible. All right, last one I'm going to leave you with.
Go ahead.
This is bad. And y'all know I don't curse on this show, but I'm going to say it like it was written. I'm fucking both her parents. People in this world are sick. This is like Sodom and Gomorrah. And I ain't judging nobody, but people are sick.
I want to know, are you doing it together?
Like they're bringing him in the bedroom?
Like, are you fucking him? Because it's too much to be fucking the mom and fucking the dad. It's two different relationships.
And the
girlfriend. So you would think if I'm doing it to the girlfriend, mom and dad must be on some kinky shit.
But then so the mom knows that the dad is being with a man?
She might like that. That might be
And you know, some people might say, these stories is made up, blah, blah, blah. I agree there may be some where people spicing it a little bit, but not, I choose to believe these are true stories because one...
embellished maybe, but not made up.
Yeah, because one, Jasmine Sullivan... She don't know y'all.
Off the internet, there's nothing on the internet that's fake.
Right, of course the internet is true. But Jasmine Sullivan doesn't know these people. She's not posting these people's names. So even if you are lying to her for what do you get out of that? I think people are just getting things off their chest because it's like, I get to tell somebody.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like that shit eats you up. You become overwhelmed. You keeping that harsh secret in that you banging the parents. And it's like, damn, I can just release this real quick.
Oh, we ran a train.
I just was going about
sister.
that when we was talking about suicide. Talking about shit. Anytime you can get something off your chest, it just makes you feel better.
Yeah, that was pretty. You know, I have to say, this episode was like a roller coaster. Like, we went dark a little bit. We, went...
We always come back to the light. We always come back to the light.
But that's what you can expect from us.
Yeah, you never know what to expect. We go up, we go down. There's a lot of shit.
We gave y'all some geography in there. It might have been wrong, but we gave you some geography. And I'm sure
for y'all watching, y'all probably was chiming in too. No, that's not the way the shit is. No, Catholics ain't like that and bullshit.
We talked about political unrest. We did.
Wrapping up. Act 2 the podcast, episode 34, coming to a close. Your boy, International Walt.
Your girl, Taj, the co-hostess with the mostest.
Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay in the comments. Stay engaged. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate the shares. Act 2 the podcast, episode 34. If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, you should. Peace.